From the heart of Philly, this is CBS News Philadelphia. Our first look at former President Trump since Saturday's assassination attempt. Seen with a bandage on his ear last night at the Republican National Convention. We'll have a look ahead at day 2 of the convention, now kicking off with a complete party ticket.
And new information about warning signs in the moments before the attempt on former President Trump's life. What law enforcement witnessed. And now what's next in the investigation?
Even at this early hour, you can feel how hot and humid it is outside. The heat advisory, watches and warnings in effect as temperatures could reach the triple digits today. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the news at 7, streaming on CBS News Philadelphia and on Philly 57. I'm Jim Donovan.
And I'm Janelle Burrell. Thanks for starting your Tuesday with us. And it is another hot one, another brutal one. Meteorologist Kate Bilo here now with our next weather alert. Hey, Kate, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jim and Janelle. Yeah, waking up to another steam bath kind of day. When you step outside, the sun is shining, but it's kind of hazy and already feeling the heat. People out and about now on the Ocean City Boardwalk, getting the runs in, getting the jogs and bike rides in. Now's the time to do it, even though it's not all that comfortable right now, but much better than it will be. The Poconos, another place you can go to beat the heat, head to the lake, maybe float around, cool off, and find a pool or a splash pad in the city or the Lehigh Valley. It is going to be another scorcher. We're already, or I should say still, at 80 degrees. We have not really dropped below that number this morning in Philadelphia. 81 degrees currently in Dover. It's 74 this morning in Allentown. But notice it already feels hotter than it is already in Wildwood. Now that airport is slightly inland there in Cape May County, but already feeling like 90 degrees. Feels like in Atlantic City 85, feels like 88 in Dover. So later this afternoon, temperatures head to the upper 90s. It's going to feel about 10 degrees hotter than that. That puts us in the 105 to 110 range for the heat index. And that's why we are in an excessive heat warning for pretty much the entirety of our region. Only the coastal communities and counties and the Poconos still in a heat advisory, where it could still feel above 100 degrees. So in the city, we're headed again for the upper 90s, 98 degrees by 4 o'clock, feeling like 107. Our forecast high today is 99, but we haven't hit 100 in Philadelphia since 2012. We may have a chance to do it today. We'll take a closer look at that. Plus, when the heat will break, there is an end in sight. That's coming up. Chandler, I'll send it over to you.
Thank you, Kate. Still just talking about this disabled truck in the northbound lanes of 95. Actually looks like it just cleared away. So that's some great news just after the Walt Whitman Bridge. That far right lane was partially blocked, but it was sitting there for about 20 or so minutes. Looks like it just drove off on its own. We didn't even need a tow truck. So that's some good news as you travel 95 northbound. Again, right around the Walt Whitman Bridge in South Philly, looking pretty quiet there. Up along the PA Turnpike, one construction zone to tell you about. This is eastbound, that on-ramp that takes you to the Delaware Valley area. Exit 42 still remains closed. That is from overnight construction still around, and it was actually continuing from yesterday as well. So just watch out for that. Elsewhere, we have overnight construction that completely cleared across the New Jersey Turnpike, as well as 295. We had crews near Burlington Mount Holly Road, and then near Mount Laurel. And that down tree that we were following in Ewing that had Route 29 closed has cleared, and the roadway is reopened, Jim.
Today is day 2 of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
Day 1 yesterday started with Donald Trump officially being nominated as his party's nominee, and he announced who he has selected to be his running mate. CBS News Philadelphia's Howard Monroe back with the highlights and what we're expecting from day 2 today. Howard, good morning.
Good morning to you, Janelle. And Jim, his running mate is Ohio Senator and political newcomer J.D. Vance. This convention is getting underway just days after a gunman opened fire in an apparent assassination attempt on the former president. Trump made a surprise appearance Tuesday night on the convention floor. Nominees, they don't typically make appearances on the first night of these conventions. And while there was little drama as to whether Trump would be the nominee, he waited until the last moment to pick Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Vance was once a Trump critic, but has since closely aligned himself with the former president. The 39-year-old has been a lawmaker for less than 2 years, but Joe Watkins, an aide to former President George H.W. Bush, says Vance's age provides a good contrast to Trump, who is 78 years old. Watkins also says that his story and proximity to key swing states could be a plus for the campaign.
J.D. Vance has a great story. He's from a working class family, actually a poor family. Mother married 3 times, had problems with drugs early on. He had no advantage at all coming up, went into the Marines after high school. And then after the Marines, after service in Iraq, he goes to to college and graduates at the top of his class, and then goes to Yale Law School, where he graduates there at the top of his class. A great, great story. Writes a book, Hillbilly Elegy, which is a bestseller. And so he's one of the youngest, certainly, to be selected as a running mate, but at the same time, a very wise choice on the part of former President Donald Trump.
Now, the theme for last night was Make America Wealthy Again. Republican lawmakers, they mostly honed their speeches around party line issues like immigration and the economy. Tonight's theme is Make America Safe Again. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Howard Monroe with that report. Thank you for that, Howard. At this point, it's still not clear why a gunman opened fire at former President Trump's rally Saturday, but more information is now coming out about the shooting. One spectator, as we know, and the shooter, they were both killed. 2 other men were also shot. They're now stable after being seriously injured. CBS News Philadelphia's Ross DiMattei joining us live from Western Pennsylvania near the shooter's home with the latest on the investigation there. Good morning to you, Ross.
Good morning to you, Janelle. We are back in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. This is the hometown of Thomas Crooks, the 20-year-old who tried to assassinate former President Donald Trump. And over the past day or so, we have seen several people coming in and out of the home behind me. This is where Crooks was living with his parents prior to that assassination attempt. We did see one person last night. Cameras captured a person pulling up and then parking before heading inside, dragging some sort of suitcase behind them. They were also wearing a hoodie tied tightly around their head, trying to conceal their identity. It's impossible to say for certain whether these are federal investigators, but we know that investigators are still searching for answers as to why this young man wanted to kill the former president. This morning, new details on the attempt on former President Donald Trump's life.
I seen him physically look at us, and he was like looking at us and crawling. And then next thing you know,
Michael DeFricia captured the moment 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire, killing one and sending 2 others to the hospital.
There he is.
CBS News has learned Secret Service did not sweep the building Crooks shot from, despite it having a direct line of sight to the stage since it was outside of the security perimeter. The Butler County Sheriff says his department was not responsible for clearing the roof either.
I don't know whose responsibility that would have been.
But a source with direct knowledge says 3 snipers from local law enforcement were staged inside and radioed after seeing the gunman acting suspiciously before the shooting. By the time help arrived, it was too late. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas called Saturday's shooting a security failure.
I do intend to speak with members of the Hill with respect to the resources that we need.
The Biden campaign resuming ads after a weekend pause says it wants to lower the temperature. In an interview with NBC News, President Biden on his own speech.
How do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody?
An independent investigation will start within days. And according to law enforcement sources, federal investigators have been able to break into Thomas Crooks' phone. They've also searched his room and interviewed people who knew him. But so far, they still have not been able to nail down a direct motive behind this assassination attempt. Janelle, back to you.
All right, we'll be watching closely as this investigation continues. Ross DiMattei live from Western Pennsylvania. Thank you, Ross. CBS News has learned that the AR-style rifle that was used by the shooter was legally purchased and registered to the shooter's father. 9 states have bans on assault rifles. Pennsylvania is not one of those states. Right now, the state requires background checks for all handguns. It also requires background checks for long guns, including assault rifles bought from firearm dealers, but not those purchased from private sellers.
Maybe it's your next door neighbor. Maybe it's the stranger in the parking lot outside of a gun show. If you're buying an AR-15 or long gun from them, there's no background check required.
Ceasefire PA, which is a nonprofit, nonpartisan gun violence prevention organization, is calling on the state to close the background check loophole. Meanwhile, under orders from President Biden, Secret Service protection will be given to presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The Independent Candidates Campaign requested Secret Service protection long before the attempt on former President Trump's life. Both RFK Jr.'s father, R.F. Kennedy, and his uncle, JFK, were assassinated in the 1960s.
Philadelphia officials, including District Attorney Larry Krasner, are condemning political violence in light of the assassination attempt on former President Trump.
Violence against any candidate of any party is completely unacceptable in a free society. Efforts to stop people from voting are completely unacceptable.
City leaders say they've been working for months to prevent political violence and ensure a safe election environment for voters come November. Fire chief of Prospect Park has resigned after comments he made on social media about the shooting. Jim Simmons resigned Sunday night after sharing a post on Facebook that made light of the attempted assassination. Prospect Park Fire Company Board of Trustees accepted Simmons' resignation on Sunday, saying the comments did not represent the organization. Simmons also apologized online and promised to be more self-aware on social media in the future. And our coverage of the assassination attempt on former President Trump continues through the morning. When we're not on the air, you can get the latest developments at cbsphiladelphia.com.
7:10, turning to our weather. The Philadelphia Health Department is hosting a seminar today to help keep you safe in the extreme heat. It's a virtual seminar. You can learn all about heat-related illnesses and also utility assistance. You can also get a list of places to stay safe and cool during the intense temperatures. That seminar kicking off at 11 this morning. You do have to register online. And as this round of extreme heat continues to grip our region, people they're doing whatever they can to try to stay cool. In Camden County, a lot of people refusing to let the stifling temperatures keep them from getting out and enjoying some summer fun. Rowers out on the Cooper River in Pennsauken staying protected with a lot of sunscreen, hats, water, and also cooling towels. Others looking for a place to beat the heat made use of the 50 cooling centers across Camden County, including this public library in Merchantville.
We like to barbecue outside. We like to do a lot of stuff, a lot of recreational activities. We got a park right by our house, but it's just I'm not messing with it today.
They want to come here every day. It's hot. They're very, they don't want to be inside. They want to run around. They want to play. They want to be kids.
Kids love being outside. Meanwhile, a lot of families, they found relief from the heat at Washington Park, the splash ground there. Kids said anything beats being cooped up inside during summer break.
We also stopped by Sister Cities Park to catch up with people trying to stay cool. The city of Philadelphia is extending hours for a lot of the city's spray grounds and pools. Senior citizen centers will be open later for anyone seeking relief from the heat as well. Philadelphia's Parks and Recs summer camps are in full swing. In the brutal temperatures, staff are doing what they can to make sure everyone stays safe. The kids at the Lackman Playground Summer Camp in Bustleton are spending most of their days keeping cool in the pool. When everyone gets out of the water, it's still important to stay hydrated. Rec leader Vinnie Ward says they're going through more water than ever.
It's already 12:30, and that's what we already went through so far. When I start working, at least, I just ignore the heat, everything. I just want to focus and make sure everybody gets their water. I don't really care about the heat. If I'm working, I'm just in the zone.
That's Kenny, the camp's PMA, or pool monitoring assistant. He spends the day making several trips to scoop ice to refill water bottles. The campers say they appreciate the ice-cold water and his hard work on these very hot days.